The way this newlywed couple met will blow your mind. How's this for a How We Met story? Heather Kruger was diagnosed with stage 4 liver disease in March 2014, and a few months later, she went into liver failure. According to her doctors, she had a less than 50% chance of living another 2 months. They recommended that she try to find a living donor because she might not live long enough to get a liver from a transplant from an organ donor. Kruger told ABC News that the news was dramatic. Meanwhile, Chris Dempsey overheard a conversation that would ultimately change his life. While eating lunch in the break room at his job, Dempsey's co-worker started talking about his cousin, Heather, who needed a liver transplant. Dempsey had never met Kruger, but he decided to volunteer to help. "When I heard about her situation, I just put myself in that situation, thinking if this was one of my family members or me, I would want somebody to help me out," he told Today.com. "My mom was kind of nervous at first for me. Some people didn't understand why I would do this for a stranger, but as time went on, people changed their tune and thought it was a cool thing. When I heard about Chris, I didn't want to get too excited or anything, because I had people in the past who went in to see if they were a match, but the qualifications are very strict, so most people were disqualified right away," Heather told Today.com. Dempsey underwent several tests to see if he qualified before actually meeting Kruger. It turned out that he was fit for the job. "He called me and said that the tests came out great, let's do this, I'm a match, I'm your donor," Kruger told ABC News. "I couldn't believe it. Got off the phone and ran down the hallway, and my mother and I were both crying our eyes out in disbelief," Heather told Today.com. "Had never even met this man before." Dempsey took Kruger to lunch a few days later and told her that he and his motorcycle club were going to hold a fundraiser to help with her medical bills. "And then he wants to do a fundraiser," she told the Chicago Tribune. "He's just unreal." The two ended up becoming friends and, on March 16, 2015, Kruger's liver was removed and 55% of Dempsey's liver was transplanted into Kruger by doctors. Both are now completely healthy. But here's where it gets super interesting. The two of them started to have more than friends feelings for each other before the surgery, but neither said anything because they were worried it would be weird. "He told me at the beginning of everything, you owe me absolutely nothing for this. We can go our separate ways if that's what you want," Heather told Today.com. "He was kind of like, we do have this special bond, but is this just because I'm sick that I'm feeling this way? You had to kind of separate that, but after the surgery, I realized it went beyond that." The couple started dating and, in December, Dempsey proposed to Kruger. Earlier this month, they got married. Kruger tells Today.com that she thinks about what would have happened if Dempsey didn't go into that break room for lunch, and why her cousin, who's a seasonal worker, just happened to be working that day. "He shows everyone, when all you hear is negativity, that there really are sincerely true, kind people out there," she says. "Pass the tissues."